Hey everyone, how's it going? I've just worked out this morning that overnight I've had a booking into one of my Airbnb apartments. Now, unfortunately, this apartment is not available, so I'm going to have to go through the process of cancelling this booking. So what I thought I'd do is just put a quick video together of some of the steps involved in the process of where a host needs to unfortunately cancel a booking with a guest. So I'm just going to call Airbnb to cancel this particular booking.
Hi, and thanks for calling Airbnb. We're looking forward to talking with you.
Oh, hi Christine. I've called in. I've actually got the instant book on my Airbnb account, but unfortunately I need to cancel this booking.
Okay, so you need to cancel a booking?
Correct, yes. Unfortunately, I need to cancel a
Okay,
booking.
okay, that's not a problem. You did come and self-present today, so I do got your account pulled up. Which, reservation are you looking to cancel?
Okay, yeah, the reservation is.
Okay, let me see. Is it for 3 nights?
It is for 3 nights, yes.
Okay, this is for 3
Correct, yes, yes.
Okay, so if it's more than 4 weeks, they'll go ahead and get their refunds.
Yeah.
Stuff, and they'll have some time to go ahead and get rebooked into something else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, sort of the earlier that I tell them, the better. Now, do I need to send them a message or anything like that, just to advise of that I've had to cancel?
Yes, you can definitely send them a message if you like. That's perfectly fine. If you want to, you can send them a message letting them know what's going on. We're also going to most likely reach out to them as well to see if they need any assistance with finding another listing.
Yeah, because it's still a fair way into the future, so I'm hoping they don't have any problems at all in finding um, some other accommodation, which I don't think they will.
Okay, great. So I did go ahead and cancel the reservation for you. Was there anything else I can assist you with?
No, that covers it for now. Now, have I?
Well, thank you so much for calling in today. You have a great rest of your day.
All right, great. Thank you for all your help with that one. Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you. Bye. Well, there you have it. I just went through to the community help desk or the support center to get that booking cancelled. This booking was actually that I needed to cancel was put through by Instant Book, which I'll run through a few things, which basically means I can get 3 cancellations that I can make on the website per year without any penalties. If you're not on Instant Book, I suggest that you do ring the support center. They're usually pretty good. As I just went through with them, there's a few accentuating circumstances, so they waive any penalties, so I'm not going to get any penalties on that one. But now what I might do is just run through a summary of the best way to cancel and all the pros and cons. Now, the first thing you want to do about cancellations with your Airbnb property is firstly to try and avoid the need to cancel reservations at any cost. The best way to do this is by managing your calendar. I know it gets a little bit difficult if you're running on a couple of different platforms. That's what got me caught out on this particular reservation. Someone popped through on the Instant Book and booked, but it was actually had just been booked on another platform pretty much the same time, unfortunately. So as soon as I saw that, the first thing I did was make contact with the Airbnb. Now, the first penalty they hit you is a monetary one, so they hit you up with a penalty fee. Now, if you cancel greater than 7 days, you're going to get hit with a $50 fee, which will be taken off future bookings. And if you have to cancel a booking within 7 days of the guest's arrival, they're going to hit you with a $100 fee. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is they are going to put a message in your reviews that says that this guest or this host has cancelled on a guest. So you really don't want that either. It's an automated thing, but anyone else coming, any potential guest that comes through and they're looking at the reviews and they see these, hosts cancelled guest, before arrival, is not good. It's going to put doubt in the actual guest's mind as to that booking, and they're probably likely to book with another Airbnb operator. So you want to try and avoid that. Now, the other thing that happens is Airbnb will block out those dates on the calendar. So, for instance, if you're thinking of cancelling a booking because you realise later that you may be able to get more money for that period that you maybe have undercharged, you won't be able to cancel it in the hope of getting a booking at a higher price. So if that does happen, you are pretty much stuck with that booking. There's no real benefit in cancelling that booking. Another reason to make sure you have your calendar all up to date with the appropriate pricing. Now, the other thing that happens is if you cancel and you are a superhost, your superhost status is gone. Likewise, if you're aiming for that superhost status, you're no longer eligible for it. So a cancellation means that for 12 months, there is no chance at all of that superhost status and the benefits that derives. Now, here's a really, really important one to keep in mind. If you cancel 3 times or more within a 12-month period, Airbnb can delist your account, so they can actually take you off the platform. Again, this shows how serious Airbnb take hosts that cancel bookings on guests. Now, there are times when you may have to cancel on a guest for no fault of your own. It may be at a couple of things I can think of. It may be an emergency repair is required, maybe a water system's gone down, or there's been some damage to the property. It could even be that one of the guests that you have had in previously has damage to the property, so you have to cancel the next guest. What I suggest you do there is actually similar to what I did this morning. I rang Airbnb and spoke to them about the whole circumstances. They usually are pretty good in that area, and they are very unlikely to penalise you for something that is completely out of your control. So my advice on that one is to never be scared to give Airbnb a call and state your case. And this doesn't just go for cancelling. This involves damages by guests and any other area. So it's their job to help. We're basically, as the hosts, are funding, and we're pretty important to their operations. So don't be scared to give them a call. Yeah. Now, if you are to cancel, as I said earlier, do give Airbnb a call. There is the option to cancel online, but basically if you cancel online, it's basically securing all those penalties. If you do call and you're speaking to a real person and there's a greater ability to really have your say, and they can be a bit more lenient on you, and they're probably less likely to hit you with those penalties. So that I actually do advise that. Now, there is one specific area where Airbnb is a lot more lenient with their hosts, and these are for the hosts that have selected to put their properties on Instant Book. Now, Instant Book basically means that a guest can come on, or a potential guest can come on to the platform, look up some dates, and with a click of the button, have a reservation made, similar to if I went to a website for a hotel. Airbnb is really pushing this, and I can see why. I can see the advantages that when guests want to book, they see the property they want. They basically want to know that they can click on and have that reserved, rather than going back and forth with a host, just discussing certain issues. There's a lot of hosts out there that do prefer that. They take a much more personal approach. I don't live in my properties, so that makes it a bit easier. If I was to live in it, I think I'd be probably a bit more selective with who was able to stay there, so I probably would ask them a few more questions. But the advantage of Instant Host is that you are able to cancel a guest 3 times per calendar year if you are not comfortable with that guest. Now, if for some reason you are a host on InstantBook and you have cancelled already 3 times during the year, and you find yourself needing to cancel 4th or 5th time, again, it's an area you want to be really careful in. But I always suggest that you get on the phone and you actually call Airbnb and you talk to an actual person, rather than doing it all through the platform. The platform's just got the automated rules, so once you click the button, it's quite easy to go into a booking, and there's a button there to cancel it, but then you're going to get hit with the penalties, and it can really affect your future earnings, and can actually affect whether Airbnb decides to keep you on the Airbnb platform or not. So yeah, that's how I go about looking at cancellations.